International Research Workshop. This workshop is a platform to gain international knowledge, research exposure, and today we are privileged to have a distinguished speaker with us. To begin on a graceful note, I would like to invite our convener, Ms. Dipali, to kindly address the gathering.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I welcome you all once again on the second day of our International Research Workshop organized by ECONTRICKS in collaboration with IQAC. Yesterday, we already had very enriching and thought-provoking session that broadened our understanding. Today, as we move forward, we continue this journey of academic exchange with the same enthusiasm. Workshop like these not only connects us with the latest developments in the field of the economics, but also inspire us to think critically, ask questions, and strengthen our own research capabilities. I hope each one of you make the best out of this research workshop opportunity that has been given to you and interact with our distinguished speaker and carry the valuable learnings ahead. With this, on behalf of my college and Econtrix, I extend my heartfelt welcome to our eminent speaker, Dr. Rajveer Jat, and enthusiast participants and everyone who has worked tirelessly to make this event happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. So, our speaker for today is Dr. Rajveer, who recently completed his PhD in economics from University of California, Riverside. His areas of expertise include econometric theory, causal inference, high dimensional statistics, and machine learning, with applications in macroeconomics, finance, and development. His research has been published in the Journal of Development Economics, and he has presented at the prestigious platforms like the World Congress of the Econometric Society in Seoul. He has also led the Graduate Quantitative Methods Center at UC Riverside, guiding PhD and master's student in advanced econometric techniques. We are honored to welcome him today. I now invite Dr. Rajvi to deliver his session.
Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you the college admin and the students for making this happen. I will speak on mostly how to do research, and we'll go through some of the lecture style tutorials on the skill sets that is particularly needed to do research in today's world. You have already listened to my friend Visudeep yesterday on how what research really means and how things are being done. So I will try to complement it, but if something is overlap, yeah, excuse me for that. I will just start and let me share the screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So I have prepared some slides, and there are stories, some steps how to go towards path of research, and then some skill sets that we must know. So I will introduce some of them. So let's start. So this is our agenda. We'll discuss some of the stories which you can feel like whether where you stand, you can relate more in which type of story you belong to or what to get it from. And then type of research, there are multiple type of research. Some particular track is meant for you, some may not. So you can find your areas of interest or maybe particularly style of doing research. For example, if there's a news anchor who asks some questions to a politician or some personality that appears on the TV, that particular anchor also does a research on the background of how what that person have been and what to question to ask, right? That is also some type of research. And then there's a quantitative research which says that if you do this particular things, your forecasting will be better. So there are multiple tracks and different type of research, and you can I will introduce some of them and you can find which one suits you more. and then we'll discuss must-have practical skills to carry out your thoughts and research in 21st century, and then some question and answers. Okay, so this is a story of Chintu. Chintu is a name that I have changed of this person, but we call him Chintu only. So he entered undergraduate program in 2012. After entering, he immediately interviewed for the clubs, groups of the smart people in the college, and he eventually got into one. He learned from the smart people, acquired some skills, made his CV in first 6 months, and emailed some relevant people to invite him into research group or give him an opportunity for engaging in research. Eventually, he got a summer internship from ISRO Science Lab on remote sensing topic. Note that he was an electrical engineering student. Remote sensing is somewhat different area, but some portion of it overlaps with remote sensing as well. So if you are doing economics in the college in the DU, and then some of the aspect of some particular science lab may overlap with your work. So you may find something from somewhere if you try good enough amount of efforts. In second year, he continued learning from the research that he got into first year, and then started making friends with the research type of friends, or to say geeks. Okay, he applied to international professors, like writing email that I have done this research type of work in first year, and these courses which gives me enough skill sets to understand what happens in the research. And eventually he got an offer of for internship from Malaysia. It was his first international trip. In year third, he started working with the professor in the college in a lab and formed a strong research group. And he continued applying for foreign research opportunities and received an offer from France, a very good university from France. He had finally figured out how to do research, and he planned for PhD. He asked for letter of recommendations from previous interns, like somewhere he did previous internships, and his college professors. So why does the letter of recommendation matter from previous professors? Because they can write that they have seen you doing research and you can make sense of things. Second, they are completely independent of you. If somebody from France is writing about you, the PhD committee has more confidence that this person is going to be actually having this skill set that we are looking for, or academic person is writing. That academician or professor has a 40 years of record in academia. So something that he's writing, people believe it. And why does college professor matters? Because college professors see you daily in their courses, whether you are interacting, whether you are asking question in the class and all. So they have a different type of perspective of writing about you, that this person has curiosity, this person is diligent and comes to the class every day and has an enthusiasm. So these two type of recommendations complement each other, and that's what they look for as a full package in a student. Then he received a PhD admit offer from US University with full funding right after completing the Bachelor of Technology course or undergraduate course. In the starting 1 to 3 years, he did coursework and wrote some good papers. So he is from computer science, so their writing paper is relatively easier than economics. But the advisor moved to another college, so this was a kind of setback. So in the third year, he admitted to a new PhD program, and this college was better than the previous one. Some years later, right now, he this should be this person, not me, but he completed PhD and had published several papers, including some notable ones. So notable papers which he was really proud of came in 2024, and he started research in 2012. So 12 years later is what you make a difference. Now he's top on his field and working in a super high paying job in a big tech company in California. So this is one story. Okay. Second story. Again, the name is just to rhythm with the first one, but he was our topper. His CGPA was the highest in the batch, but he mostly studied in his hostel room. But he was a good friend with other people and with me also. He continued working hard in studies, maintained toppers badge over time, and he got an international internship, which is from Germany, I think, because of his high CGPA and academic track record, which the first person couldn't get. First person went to France on his own, and then he joined his research group in the department and got a good campus placement in a private company. 2 years later, he went for PhD in the US solely based on his CGPA. There was no research work in between because he was working for a tech company, right? So if you are the topper of your class and if you have good enough CGPA, it saves you from many things. And but after 2 years later, he left PhD because it was too much. And he joined a private company in the US, but still doing research in the private company. So research doesn't just mean PhD. Now he's making good amount of money, and just to give figures, he has savings disclosed to me, but like about 6 crores at the moment. Okay, good enough stories. Third story is different. I mean, just again, the first name of the name is again different, but he went entered into IIT and came from Hindi medium. He couldn't understand anything in first semester, so he scored low marks, demoralized. But before coming, he was a topper of his school in back in the village, so it was a setback for him. Got some backlogs also in some of the courses, which was really, terrible. But he wrote poems. His natural talent was to write poems. But in India, people just, if you are talented enough, go for IIT or something like AIMS or something, right? So this is what his path was. So he joined a Hindi poetry club in the college and managed to just pass the courses. He became the head of poetry club, which must have been through his hard work. He decided to do a master's in languages, completely different from mechanical engineering. And this was 2016. In 2017, he joined a top university in India for master's program. I'm just not writing university for identity purposes. After finishing masters, he did 1 year of research assistant work with a professor, because if you are coming from mechanical engineering, language people will not accept you as they can accept somebody who did entire career like bachelor's or masters in the languages. So you may need to do some research work to get a good letter of recommendation, right? So after finishing masters, he did RA work with a professor. And this particular research was not at all related with any programming or any engineering sort of things. It was just experimental research, divided groups into two parts, asked several questions, and then based on that, they decided. Of course, some statistics is used at the end of the analysis, but it is not a computer science or engineering heavy project. Then he went for a 3 year PhD program in Europe. So in the US, PhD programs are typically 5 or more years. Usually it's 6 years in economics these days. Only some people finish in 5 years. But in the Europe, this is only 3 years program. So he went into Europe and now he's a professor at some old reputed IIT. So you see somebody who failed in the first year became the professor before the other two persons. Yeah, so it's not like anything can happen, but it happens. So now lessons, let's draw some lessons from the stories. What was common among them? They were from the same group, so they learned from each other. Somebody was talking that he this so and so things he learned in France, so and so things he learned in somewhere else, and they learned more in depth how exactly the research is being done. So they got a confidence. Oh, I can also do this, something like this, right? What was not common? The second person was the topper, but not interactive enough. The first person's CGPA was 8.8. So if he was watching this, I have to write his CGPA correctly, otherwise he will scold me. But But yeah, his CGPA was not like super high that immediately people will understand that this is a topper person or will do research. I mean, right? But he proved himself by going after different things, different research internship, and eventually he got a PhD offer before the two others. And this person's CGPA was below average, but he changed his course and started afresh in masters. So overall, consistency and perseverance matters more than talent in the research. So if you are a superstar in talent, if you are not, that's fine. You should, if you are in the Delhi University, you are smart enough to do research. That's what I feel. But you have to be more, you should do more work on your strategies, right? See, this person had highest CGPA, so even after he went for private corporate job, not doing nothing for 2 years, still got PhD program. But then other persons has to do something else, right? So having being a topper, being scoring very high CGPA is not the only door to research, but definitely helps. You find your passion over time, but keep on going is important. If you don't keep on going on this track, you will, I don't know, I mean, at least in the research it's difficult to find passion. Interacting with prolific colleagues, like intelligent or productive friends, definitely gives you more edge. For example, make some friends in some college. The only college that I know in technical field is IIT Delhi, and I think in economics there are many good colleges. Even like even within your college, you can talk to your intelligent people or friends. In I have seen people coming from all the colleges in ISI Delhi from economics. So I don't think college matters much more. The top colleges of Delhi, I mean, the North Campus colleges, I think only one or two from each of the colleges were there. So it really doesn't mean that top college will give you the best friends. You can make best friends everywhere. Uh, but it's just that, I mean, you just need to be focused how to do things. Okay, but definitely if somebody is more productive at SRCC, why not to make friend with them and bring them to your college? So, anyways, yeah, these were the stories. So overall, uh, message from the stories is that it doesn't matter if you are the topper or not, but if your CGPA is better, it definitely helps. It doesn't harm. Okay, now let's take a quick sneak peek at the type of research. So based on purpose, there are two type of research. Pure research basically aims to expand knowledge and understanding of fundamental concept. For example, quantum physics theory or number theory or mathematical tools, for example, derivatives or so. Then applied research, it solves the problem of practical problems using existing theories or methods. So when I will introduce my research later on, we will discuss these aspects of it. So research on like vaccine effectiveness or marketing strategy will fall in this particular category. So you can either do this or this. If you don't like people, you just want to sit, be in your office alone and think, basic pure research is yours. But I mean, if you like people more and don't want to deal with too much mathematics, applied research you can do. Based on approach, theoretical and empirical. So theoretical focused on abstract reasoning models and etc. For example, there are two people, how do they make decisions. So game theoretical perspective could be the theoretical side of it. Then empirical research, you can based on data and measured phenomena in real world, how people are actually behaving, you can find out those data, and then based on that we call it empirical research. So here more mathematical and abstract thinking, like something which you can think on your mind, that kind of things matters more. Here you can get more inferences from the graphs or visualizations and data, or you observe something in real life, like going in the in the market in Delhi and find out how bargain is happening, those kind of things. If your senses are good in that type of area, empirical research would be your path to do. Then based on methodology, qualitative and quantitative research. Qualitative means descriptive, exploratory, and non-numerical, doesn't involve numbers. Like you go and ask different people different things, and based on that you make your opinions. Like interviews, thematic analysis. Like I gave an example of an anchor who interviews someone. So they go into their past and collect data, archive, etc., and then ask question like what will be their political party's strategy on different topics. And now quantitative research, it is numerical, measurable, use statistical tools. These days, quantitative research is more valued in the sense that because what you are saying is not your opinion, you are saying it based on data. So people typically believe it more because it is coming from something which is not the opinion. Now, what are those things exactly? It is outside the scope of today's talk. So I will just say they are predictive and causal. Causal means this causes that, but predictive just means that this will be the stock price at this particular time period. So just predicting doesn't say why this is happening. So this predictive you can say what, and this causal you can say why. Why does this happen? Then you should go for causal research. So usually in economics, causal research is the something that we go after. Predictive research is more done in computer science and data science. Okay. Practical skill set that you must have for quantitative research in 21st century. First, data analysis software. You need to know one of the data analysis software, for example, MS Excel or Stata. Programming language, R, it's not for Rajir, I just wrote it for fun. And then there's a Python, and then reading. You must have econometrics courses. You should take these. And then there's this book called Element of Statistical Learning, which is available online for free. And you should be able to understand it in your second year of the college. But if you don't understand, that's fine. Just read it and later on again read it. You will understand it eventually. But starting with this book will be a great idea. And my recommendation is that you should focus on learning R. If you learn R, that's enough for everything else. And read this ESL book. You can leave the rest. It's better to master one than having a little bit knowledge of other things. Python is much used in corporate. R is also used. R either is used for simple tasks or very difficult tasks. For medium tasks, Python is used. Okay, so for big data, R is used. For small usual analysis, again R is used. But for midterm, medium level of things, Python is being used. Both of these are good. Depends which one you like more. Okay. Now, if I have some time, I would like to give 10 minutes of you to these tools, and then we can talk about question and answer. Any question till this point? Any guidance from the organizers about the time and how to locate it?
I think it's going well so far, but if anybody has anything, you can just write in the chat box. If anybody has to ask anything, please write in the chat box. Okay, I think it's good so far.
Okay. Yeah, so let's have a tour to the tools. Tools are something that enables us to do research. So for R, we must install it in our computer, and then we can do some analysis. So how to do that? So I will now go to Google Chrome and show you how to do these things. Let's change the course. Let's start in new tab. So you should Google install. Okay. So this will take you to some website like this. So you should go for this particular newest one, or there will be some versions. You should go for the newest one here, or 5.1 point whatever it is, and download it here. Then just click on the link, next, and it will get installed into your computer. Unlike other software, R works differently. So this is R, and then there is something which is called R Studio. Okay. Now, if you go here, download R Studio. You can download it from here, and then it's very easy to install. There is no license. This is open source and completely free for everyone. But note that if you download RStudio first, then it will not work. You have to install R first, then RStudio, and then I don't think it will have any problem. This is one of the easiest software to install. After installing the RStudio, it will look like this. Now this is a R Studio, but what it is being powered by the R that we have installed in our computer. So I have installed that into my computer. So let's look how it looks like. So this is a particular tab which is called programming tab, or some people call it differently, but I write programs here. Everyone writes program here actually. And then this is called console window on the bottom. So the result is being shown here. For example, if I write here 1 plus 1, then it will show me 2, something like this. Okay, and we can do quick things here. For example, what is sine of 0? So it will show me 0. What is exponential of 1? It will show me the value of e, something like this. Okay, and then one we can do arithmetic operation, 2 multiply 3, 6, something like this. But eventually we want to repeat these things because we have written code, we want to use it later. So this is not the way we should write. So that's why this programming window is being created. So how to use it? So you need to go to file, and I will show you just how to do it. So you need to click on new file. There are three type of things in R script, which is just program, then R note down, and then markdown. So you should go to markdown, and then it will ask you something like title of this file. I will just write first file first or something. Okay. And then if you go there, this will appear. Okay. And what exactly is this? Let's understand it. So there are two type of things in R markdown. One is called code block. This is code block. Everything in here is called code. And then there is a text block. This is text block. Something here is called text, which means that R does not treat it as a program. So let's just keep only two such things. So let me write 1 plus 1, and I will go here and will run all. Okay. I will run, but there is nothing being printed here. Why? Because R thinks that there is no code written. This is not the code for R. But if I write it here in this block, this is code for R. Now, if I go and run, it will give me 2 here. It will print 2 for me. Why? Because something in here is code. Something here is not a code. So this is being used like, describing the following code. The following code gives an introduction to first program for mining in R. Something like this. Okay. Now if I write here, let's see what happens. Okay. Then this will say object high is not found. So just writing text will not work in code block. You have to write either in some string format like this, then it will print high for you. See, it is printing high for you here or here. Okay. So this is how like this particular RStudio works. Okay. Now let's just go to one basic vectors here. Here, this is a file from some professor I have borrowed, and then these are the things he has described. What is the agenda of this particular program file? Why other things like he has described into all these things, but there's no code so far. And yeah, here the code appears later here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this block, and it shows that 7 plus 5 is 12, 7 minus 5 is 2, and so on. Okay, and this is 7 raised to the power 2. So this is how this typical R coding looks like. These are codes, then we describe them, then there are codes, we describe them, there are codes, we describe them, and all, right? Good thing with this is that if you go ahead here and write, click this to HTML, then it becomes a PDF file for you. So you need not to write your result to different file and then give it to someone. This will automatically create slides or file for you. So this is a 21st century smart programming where you can actually directly generate report from the programming. Okay, so this is basic R. Start it in first year, second year, or third year. You will eventually have to do this if you want to do economics later on. You can do away with this, but if you are just starting, why to invest time into some other softwares where everything is done by this these days? Okay, so stata is something that economists mostly use because they don't want to do programming. So I would recommend you to start from here. If you know this, stata will be very, very easy for you. Okay, all right, so this is our R. Now let's start a very quick introduction to Python. So I would, if you are on computer, please go and write this word on your computer. Research, collab, Google, research, something like this. Write these three keywords and it will take you to this particular link. You should click on this link. And then it is taking me to here, but it should open a particular file like this for you. So it says welcome to Collab. That's okay, right? Now there will be some code blocks here also, like something we have discussed previously. This is called code block in here. And these are called text blocks. Here, this is text block, this is code block. So if I run it here, it will give me the number 24 multiply 60 multiply 60. If I make it 0, it should give me 0. Okay. So this is code block in Python. Again, similar things, code block, text, code block, text. Now again, code block. So these are longer code blocks. You will learn it how it after doing some Python course, of course. But the overall thing that these days work is that you have some text, then some codes, then some text. And this collab.research.google.com gives you the free platform which you not need to install in your computer. Just go online and just go here and start. Now you can write new notebook. You can actually create a new notebook here, and this will create a new notebook for you. And we will just take two examples on how to do it. So see, there is nothing here, only one code block. Let's start writing code 1 plus 1 and let's run it, and it will print 2 for us. Yeah, it printed 2. Now you can insert new text box like this and write the following code block is my second block, something like this. And just click anywhere else, and then again for new code block, write this. So see, that particular text block is appearing like a normal line that appears in our notebook or so. Here you can write like 3 plus 4, something, anything that after learning the coding you can write your work. Yeah, so overall this is how Python works, and this is how the R works. And with this, I think my demo for tools is done. And I just want you to take to this ESL file. I think I have opened it already. Okay, let's see. Yeah, here. So there, the good thing about this book is that this element of statistical learning is very, very famous in the world, and there are solutions of it available online. So if you don't understand something, you can go on this link and find the solution of particular question. So if your teacher is teaching from this course, you know where to find solutions already. But if you are learning by yourself, you will not struggle because everything is available online. For example, this example 3.2 of the book, the questions and answers are given here. Yeah, so you should start from here. Let's move to the remaining one more slide, I think. And yeah, so as a student, as a UG student, okay, let me full screen it. As a UG student, what should be your part to research? First, you should look within, like I think Viswadeep already talked about it, but look within, like, should we do research? And specifically, do you have enough motivation that can last 6+ years? That's minimum that is required for PhD or so. For economic student thinking of pursuing research, if you are economic student or political science even or something like this, I don't know about other field, but at least for economics, you must take the following courses: linear algebra, real analysis, calculus, and statistics. You must take these if you want to do research or PhD in economics. If your college doesn't offer the courses, then take them online. Okay. Maths courses for economics PhD is much greater import has much greater importance than any other knowledge of the economics courses. Unfortunately, this should not be the case, but this is the reality. My job is to not discourage you from attending economics courses, but to tell you reality. If you want to do research in later in the life, you must know mathematics courses, at least four, which is written here. Okay. You should start with a small project with someone's RA, like research assistant, or just as a student assistant in some any topic. Just get involved in your first, second, or third year. It's never too late for undergraduates. Your first project will be bad, but there is no second project without first project, right? So start at any moment that at least you will learn whether you should do these things or not. Make friends with like-minded people. Get MS degree and possibly RA experience before applying to PhD. This will make your letter of recommendations stronger. Okay. Now, if you are deciding to apply for PhD, what matters? 3 strong letter of recommendations, as I discussed in the beginning. At least 1 or 2 from research professors, or rest of 1 or 2 from the teachers. Okay. This should write about you as an individual, how enthusiastic you are about research and how you are in the classroom. One writing sample or paper which you have worked on, strong transcript like high grades, and then comes GRE. Now people think that GRE is the one which matters the most. It does not matter as long as you have decent score. But the math score of GRE does matter. Okay. So if you think you are from Hindi medium and then English, you don't know much English and GRE is about English, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Yeah, that's what I want to say on this. Yeah, thank you for your attention. And I think I'm done with what I want to say.
Thank you so much, Rajveer, for such a wonderful session. I hope our students have gained, the knowledge of research, where to start, how they can make the use of the softwares. I would like to call Soumya here.
Ma'am, I am speaking. Now the floor is open for the questions. Participants may kindly put forward their queries. Also, the attendance form is now open. Kindly fill it to have a peace certificate.
You can put your questions in the chat box. Ayushi, you can collect questions from the student. Okay.
Okay, the question, what are the effective ways to present research findings? Interesting. So I would say that, the first thing is you should read the mind of who is learning, who is present, or who will be reading your research or are present in a room. So if I'm coming here for undergraduate student, you can see that there is no mathematics involved in my presentation. I work in econometric theory, but there is no econometric theory involved in my slides, because I know that as an undergraduate student, I should talk something which they can listen. Now, Chintu Pintu's story is what something everyone likes, even if they are UG or a school grade student or maybe PhD student. So one way to saying what I found out as a researcher over time and learned from others, I wanted to convey it. So I read the mind of people and I put it in a form that they like. Second, visuals are more important than writing. People grasp visuals better these days. Uh, but if you want to be serious and you want to convey to the top researcher of your field, you have to be more abstract in terms of mathematical ideas. Writing mathematically gives you the effective way of what you want to say. For example, I want to say this particular estimator takes the maximum information from available information. So saying this may mean different things to different people. But if I write it mathematically, that given this component, the argument, my target is independent of remaining information, then it makes it clear for people. We are on the same page. So if I'm going to the researcher from Stanford in my California econometrics conference, I talk like that. When I came to IIT, I talk like that. But when I talk to my friends who are not in my field of research. I just say them with an intuition, like, in a layman language or so. So effective way of presenting research finding: first, you should know your audience. Second, if you are writing a paper, you should be more mathematical to clear your ideas so that nobody misinterpreting what you are saying. Third, you should use visuals like graphs or possibly video. Or I don't know, in a research paper, you can't put a video, but at least the pictures. Pictures are being grasped more than writing the English. So that's why I would say. Second, what role does sampling play in ensuring accuracy of the result? Very good question, and I'm very happy to see econometric type of question now. So sampling basically is to mimic the population. So we want to say something that Indians are more leaning towards the education than they were in the 19th century. If something that we want to say, then the best thing to do is to ask every Indian, but that's very very costly, time consuming, and may not be possible because of reasons. I know you cannot survey them in 1 year or so. So we need to pick sample that the people that we are doing research, we are interviewing, do represent our whole population. So sampling plays an important role. It should mimic the population. Second, there should be good enough data points so that we can say that this sample is a representative of population. Third, they should come from independent or more diverse background. If you just come on my house and you survey my 5 6 family members, then we are going to say the same thing, almost the same thing, because our background is correlated. So then they are not the different data points. So you should find your sampling to represent each and every group up to the maximum extent possible and within your budget. That's what I would say. Okay. Is it necessary for other discipline to be expert in maths? So I would like to ask, which discipline are you talking about? It will give me more idea. But if you say economics, yes. Political science, yes. These days, political science, and in the upcoming days, it will be more of quantitative research, because people now don't listen to what your opinion is. They want to listen the data or the experiment that you have collected and all. Like 2019, or I don't know when, I think 2019, this Nobel Prize in economics was given to the people, and there was clearly things written that they have promoted evidence-based research or data-based research in economics. So world is moving towards that because data is becoming cheaper and cheaper, and everyone wants to see more of it. You need not to be expert in the maths even for economics, but you should know those 4 courses and you should be able to pass the comprehensive exams That's it. After that, you may forget it. That's fine. Okay. What role does sampling play? Oh, sorry. Okay, fourth question. How do we ensure originality in the research work? How do we ensure that you should do good enough literature review to find out whether what you are doing is not the same as what people have already done? I think as a undergraduate in 2025, we have more advantage than us in doing literature review because you can ask ChatGPT to do it, and then you can provide more prompt like this and this. Can you find some studies like this? So you have more tools now. So originality of research, of course, your ideas could be original, but somebody may have already done it. So we should do more literature review in that. I would say that's the only point I can make. Okay.
So, as we come to the close of this 2 days international research workshop, I would like
Excuse
to
me.
thank our
Yeah, Manish here. May I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Actually, I have a comment for. Thank you, Speaker Rajveer ji. It was really very good workshop, and you focused on many practical aspect of research. So I hope our students have gained so much. So thank you so much. Even I have gained something from you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rajveer ji.
Thank you for your kind words. Any comments or
Okay,
So,
Ayush,
as we come to the close of this 2 days international research workshop, I would like to thank our esteemed speaker, Dr. Rajveer, for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking lecture. Your words have truly widened our perspective and added immense value to this workshop. I would also thank our convener, Ms. Dipali, for her constant guidance, encouragement, and for so warmly setting the tone of today's session. I also express gratitude to our respected principal ma'am, teachers, and IQAC for their support in making this workshop possible. Last but not least, a special thanks to all participants for your active presence and engagement. This workshop has truly been an enriching experience, helping us gain global exposure in the field of economics and research. On behalf of ECONTRICS and IQAC, I thank you all once again and wish you the very best for your academic and professional journey. With this, we formally conclude the workshop. Thank you.
I think we can stay for 2 minutes. You can take a group photograph, Ayushi. Okay. Okay. So I would request everybody to please keep your camera open for the group photograph. I request everybody to please keep your camera open for the group photograph. Let's hang on for a second, Ayushi. Let everybody open the camera. Okay, I think you can go on. Done? Okay. Thank you so much, Rajveer. We really enjoyed this session.
thank you
And
for
we are
inviting. It was great interacting with the students. If you have any question, I don't know if you have my email, but let me put in the chat box. And you can reach out to me. I really like to talk to students in general. For your information, I was a student union president in my college, and so that itself says how I love to interact with people and talk to them. So don't feel free to reach out and ask question. I may not reply on time, but I will definitely try to reply within a week. Um and if you have any specific question and path for like any specific problem, like how should I go in particular direction of research, I think Viswadeep is also of similar nature. You can reach out to him as well. And all the best for your career. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much once again.